Ever ask yourself the journey of a steak from farm to your plate? Most people probably have, but only few actually look up how pigs and cows are raised and killed in a closed system. Large-scale farming is even so brutal that chickens live and die without seeing sunlight. Yes, you heard that right. Now that might not be the case with your local farm, but it's reality in parts of the world where meat consumption is very high. Not only that, cattle farms are also said to contribute their part to climate change, and that's not so small. What if we would stop eating meat and dairy products? Would that actually help us and the planet? Let's enjoy the latest epic scenario. Here's what would happen if everyone in the world went vegan. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the scenario and subscribe to the show. Turn on the notification bell and comment future suggestions down below. Steaks, eggs, milk, and other animal products. From now on and forever, gone. No one in the world will ever eat these things again. You might enjoy a medium steak like nothing else. You might start your mornings with cereal and milk, but that's all history. Because you're a vegan. Never thought that would happen, right? Let's say that every person in the world is a vegan from now on. That'll make it easier for you too. What are the things that would change? For one, scientists are claiming for years that cattle farms produce an enormous amount of methane. That's the fart of a cow, basically. Can't put it easier in words. In 2019 alone, there were a total of almost 95 million cattle and cows in the USA. You heard that right. And with so many animals, it's understandable they can also contribute a substantial amount to climate change. So if we would all go vegan, we would basically stop the animal contribution to climate change from 100% to close to zero. Cows and chickens will still be around, but they won't be raised to be processed to food. They'll just live a normal life, like a dog or cat. Pigs, cows, and chickens are also regularly fed with antibiotics. They don't get it with an injection, but they put it in their food. This way, farmers and large-scale corporations ensure that the animals don't get sick. However, scientists claim that bacteria and virus have grown resistant to these antibiotics. Animals might not get as sick as without it, but it is reported that the hormones alongside the antibiotics are still in the meat after they are processed and sent to retail stores all across the country. Therefore, when we eat the steak, we take up the substance that are made from animals into our bodies. And I guess you imagine that this can't be good, no matter how you look at it. They are specifically designed to treat animals that run on a completely different structure. So when we eat it, it can cause a numerous amount of infections and diseases, including cancer, and nobody wants that. There are many non-animal protein sources which can easily substitute any sort of meat protein. You might have to eat more of it, but who wouldn't go that path for a healthier lifestyle? If you ever made chicken in a pan, you probably noticed how much water is pouring out of the meat. That shouldn't be there in the first place. Companies fill the meat with water to make it look heavier and appear more tasty. Yikes! So are there any downsides to a vegan lifestyle? Startups are already hitting the market with veggie steaks, chicken nuggets, and sausages. Cool, right? The problem, however, is that the protein in these products come from GMO vegetables. Even though headlines around GMOs are very low, it is known that genetically modified organisms can also cause harm to you in the long term. In the end, it's up to you to decide which path you want to go to. Eating less meat is definitely not a bad thing. After all, you are not only doing good for yourself, but also the environment. Maybe switch to local farms for your #1 source of meat. It might be a bit more expensive than the retail store, but at least you know the animals were treated much better than any of the mega farms you have seen on TV. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.